If you clicked on this video thinking I'm some kind of manifestation guru, I hate to burst your bubble. I'm not. In fact, I'm just like you, still figuring this out. But don't scroll away just yet, because while I'm no expert, manifestation has changed my life in ways I never thought possible. About 2 years ago, I found myself at the lowest point in my life. I was living in Ukraine, on the verge of becoming a doctor, and everything was falling into place. Until the war hit. One day, life was on track, and the next, the air was filled with sirens and explosions. I lost everything I had been building. I remember thinking, how can this be happening? I was meticulous in planning my future. Every detail was perfect, and if anything went off course, it would affect me deeply. So, when the war forced me to leave Ukraine, I was devastated. The thought of starting over in a new country was crippling. I felt like my life was completely out of control. After relocating, I was lost. No direction. No plan. I didn't even know where to begin rebuilding my life. That's when I turned to books, lots of them. And during that dark time, I stumbled upon Joe Dispenza's Becoming Supernatural. That book was the spark that sent me down a rabbit hole of discovery. Shortly after, I found Neville Goddard's Feeling is the Secret, and it felt like he was speaking directly to me. His teachings about manifestation resonated with me in a way nothing else had. My first attempts at manifestation were almost effortless. I wasn't consciously aware of what I was doing. I simply visualized, affirmed my desires a few times, and then let it go. And to my amazement, those things became reality. It felt like magic, like the universe was conspiring in my favor. Neville Goddard taught that feeling is the secret. And back then, I had no resistance. I wasn't overthinking it or obsessing about when it would happen. I just believed it would, and it did. I didn't know the how or when, I just trusted. That's what Goddard meant when he said, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. But as time went on, something shifted. I started trying too hard to replicate those successes. I put force into it, constantly checking my surroundings, the 3D world, for evidence that it was working. And every time I didn't see results, frustration set in. I was hitting a wall, and the harder I tried, the further my desires seemed to slip away. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this in Becoming Supernatural. He says, if you're too attached to the outcome, you disconnect from the energy of possibility. And that's exactly what I was doing, trying to control the process instead of trusting it. I had lost the effortless flow that made manifestation work for me in the beginning. I eventually realized I needed to go back to the basics. I needed to understand the science behind manifestation, why it works, and how to let go again. That's what this video is about. Getting back to the core principles of manifestation and showing you how to manifest without resistance, just like I did when it felt like magic. So, if you're ready, let's dive in. So, let's talk about the core of manifestation. What makes it really work? When I first stumbled upon Neville Goddard, one phrase stood out to me. Feeling is the secret. And at first, I didn't fully understand what he meant by that. I thought manifestation was just about thinking positive thoughts and visualizing what I wanted. But Goddard was teaching something much deeper, something that goes beyond mere thought. It's about feeling as though your desire has already come true. Think of it this way. Your mind doesn't know the difference between a vividly imagined experience and reality. That's where the magic of manifestation happens. Dr. Joe Dispenza breaks it down scientifically in his book Becoming Supernatural. He says, your brain is like a record of the past, but when you start visualizing a different future and add emotion to that vision, your brain begins to believe it's already happening. This is how neuroplasticity works. Your brain rewires itself according to the thoughts and emotions you consistently focus on. When you imagine a future filled with the emotions of already having what you desire, your brain starts creating the neural pathways that align with that vision. And soon, you begin to see opportunities in the world around you that match those feelings. Tony Robbins explains this perfectly when he says, where focus goes, energy flows. The more you focus on something, the more your brain filters the world to align with that focus. That's why when you set a clear intention, everything in your life starts shifting to make that intention a reality. Your brain, your energy, the people you meet, all begin aligning with what you're manifesting. And let me tell you, this isn't just some spiritual concept. The reticular activating system, RAS, in your brain is proof of that. It's the part of your brain that acts like a filter, picking up on information that's important to you and ignoring the rest. Ever noticed how when you buy a new car, you suddenly start seeing that car everywhere? That's your RAS in action. It's not that the car suddenly appeared more often. It's that your brain has become tuned in to noticing it because it's now important to you. When you apply this to manifestation, you begin to see how powerful your mind truly is. Wayne Dyer summed it up beautifully. You don't attract what you want. You attract what you are. When you embody the feelings of already having what you desire, your energy shifts, and the world responds to that. But there's something crucial to remember here. It's not just about the thoughts or the visuals. You have to feel it. That's the real power behind Neville Goddard's teaching. He wasn't just saying to picture your desires. He was saying to live in the feeling of your wish fulfilled. All right, so now that we've talked about the foundations, let's get into the how. How do you actually do manifestation in your everyday life? It comes down to 3 core practices: visualization, affirmations, and setting clear intentions. And trust me, when you get these right, things start to shift in ways you can't even imagine. Visualization. Let's start with visualization. I know, everyone talks about it, but there's a reason why it's so powerful. When you visualize, you're not just daydreaming. You're training your brain. Dr. Joe Dispenza says that the brain doesn't know the difference between a real experience and one that's vividly imagined. So when you're visualizing, your brain is literally rewiring itself for that future. Close your eyes and don't just see the goal, feel it. Let's say you're manifesting financial abundance. Don't just picture money. Picture yourself living the life you want. What's around you? Where are you? What are you doing? Feel the excitement, the peace, the relief of having already achieved it. Your emotions are key here. The more emotion you can bring into it, the more your brain believes it's already happening. Think of it like this. Neville Goddard said, "Imagination creates reality." So when you sit down to visualize, you're not just thinking about what you want. You're stepping into the reality of it already being done. Your job is to live in that feeling. Affirmations. Next up, let's talk affirmations. Now, I used to think affirmations were just cheesy phrases you repeat, but Louise Hay changed my mind. She said, "Your thoughts create your reality. Your mind is your magic wand." And she was right. Affirmations work, but only if you believe what you're saying. So here's the thing. When you're doing affirmations, don't just say them, feel them. You've got to believe it's already true. For example, if you're manifesting financial success, don't say, "I will be wealthy." That's putting your goal off into the future. Instead, say, "I am financially abundant right now." And when you say it, feel it. Speak it with confidence, like it's already happening. Neville Goddard put it best when he said, "You are already that which you want to be." And your refusal to believe this is the only reason you do not see it. You have to step into that belief, because if you don't believe it, your subconscious won't either. So, affirmations are about reprogramming your mind. Speak what you want into existence like it's already a done deal. Setting clear intentions. Finally, let's talk about setting clear intentions. Here's where a lot of people trip up. If you're vague about what you want, the universe and your brain can't really get to work. You need to be specific. Tony Robbins says, "Setting goals is the first step in turning the invisible into the visible." So what do you want to manifest? Don't just say, "I want more money." Be specific. How much? By when? What does your life look like once you have it? The clearer you are, the easier it is for your mind to filter out the noise and focus on the opportunities that align with that goal. Once you've set that intention, visualize it, affirm it, and here's the important part. Let it go. You've done the work. Trust that the universe and your subconscious mind are already making it happen. Don't keep checking the 3D world for signs. Wayne Dyer said it best. Infinite patience produces immediate results. Once you've set that intention, you need to trust that it's already done. All right, now that we've covered the core practices, visualization, affirmations, and setting clear intentions, I want you to really understand how these all work together. Manifestation isn't a one-time thing. It's not about doing a visualization once and hoping for a miracle. It's about living as if your desires are already on their way. Neville Goddard taught this when he said, "Live in the end. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled." That's the secret right there. It's about becoming the person who already has what they want, who already feels abundant, who already feels successful. And the more you practice this every day, the more you start to see shifts in your reality. Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this in terms of quantum energy. He says, when you broadcast the same energy as your future self, you collapse time, and your future self finds you. That means, when you feel like the person who already has what they want, you speed up the manifestation process. Your brain, your energy, and your environment all start aligning to that reality. But let me be real with you for a second, this takes practice. Sometimes you'll doubt, and sometimes you'll want to give up. I've been there too. When things didn't manifest as quickly as I wanted, I started obsessing over the how and when. And that's where I hit a wall. Tony Robbins says, "It's not what we do once in a while that shapes our lives, but what we do consistently." So consistency is key. You have to commit to showing up every day, visualizing, affirming, and setting your intentions. And most importantly, you have to let go. Wayne Dyer reminds us, let go of the outcome and trust the process. Let me share something with you. When I first started manifesting, I didn't have all the answers. I was in a tough place, feeling lost after everything that happened in Ukraine. But the moment I started applying these principles, even in the smallest ways, I noticed shifts. Little things at first, but they were there. A new opportunity, a random conversation that led to something bigger, unexpected help when I needed it most. That's how manifestation works. It doesn't always come in one big wave, but in small, steady ripples that add up over time. Remember what Louise Hay said, "You have the power to heal your life, and you need to know that." We think so often that we are helpless, but we're not. This isn't just about manifesting material things. It's about transforming yourself. Manifestation starts from within, and the more you believe in your ability to create your reality, the more you will create it. So here's what I want you to take away from all of this. Manifestation is a daily practice. It's not about forcing things to happen. It's about aligning your energy, your thoughts, and your emotions with the reality you want to create. Neville Goddard tells us to live in the end, to feel the wish fulfilled. Dr. Joe Dispenza shows us the science of how your brain and body respond when you align with your future self. Tony Robbins reminds us that consistency is key. What you do every day shapes your future. And Louise Hay empowers us with the knowledge that we have control over our lives, starting with our minds. But above all, remember, patience is part of the process. It's about trusting that what you want is already on its way, even if you can't see it yet. Wayne Dyer said it best. If you believe it will work out, you'll see opportunities. If you believe it won't, you'll see obstacles. What you focus on grows. So choose to focus on the opportunities, the abundance, and the possibilities that are already around you. I challenge you to commit to these practices over the next week. Visualize your future self, affirm your desires, and set clear, powerful intentions every day. And here's the most important part. Let go. Trust that it's already done. If you're ready to make that shift, share in the comments what you're manifesting. Let's hold each other accountable, and I'll see you in the next episode where we dive deeper into the power of visualization and how to use it to unlock the life you're dreaming of. And do not forget to like and subscribe.